Hey everyone, I'm Beth.
And I'm Jamarl, and today we're talking about the one. Whether the one exists, does someone have the one? Is there a soulmate or not? Or does it not exist?
Yeah, that is the question of the day. We actually just had a conversation about this in the kitchen as we were making lunch, and we thought we'd just open up the discussion and just have the conversation on camera, because I think it's a conversation that a lot of people have and sort of wonder about and dream of and wish for. So we're just gonna kind of chat and let you in on our thoughts, really.
Yeah. If you're new here, thanks so much for tuning in, and make sure you're subscribed as well, because we do post content about relationships. We are documenting our fertility journey as well. So if stuff like that is interesting to you, then make sure you hit that subscribe button.
And the bell.
And the bell, to make sure you get all your notifications straight to your phone, tablet,
Straight to
iPad,
your front door, baby.
desktop.
Let's start with the very reliable Urban Dictionary definition of the one.
Okay.
Absolutely, positively, the only person on earth you are ever meant to be with. Your soulmate.
Ah, there you go. So I think, now my opinion on the one is that it does not exist. I don't think there is the one or a soulmate or a certain person. And we were having this conversation earlier, and I think it's hard to kind of put into words why, but what I'm trying to say is that people who meet and fall in love, there are certain things within relationships, certain behaviours, certain lifestyles, decisions that you make that can help the relationship go very smoothly. And so you could be with someone who you could probably get along with and really, connect with, vibe with, have a good time with, and spend the rest of your life with, raise a family with, whatever it looks like. That doesn't necessarily mean they're the one. Like, what is the one? It's just more about actually connecting with someone who you love and making a commitment and a decision to seeing that through.
So essentially what you're saying is you choose the one.
Yeah.
Like, you make a choice about who the one is. And I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. You do choose the person that you want to be with, and you choose to only focus your full attention on them, and you make them your priority, and through doing that you become more deeply connected, and therefore they can become the one and only person you ever want to be with. On the other hand, I do love the idea of there being this person, this one person that was set aside for you, because that is really romantic. To a certain extent, maybe in terms of bringing God into it, I do believe that he has someone that is really suited to you, that is going to be on your path, basically. And I don't know, it's a really hard concept to talk about.
Thinking about some spiritual and Christian mentalities, I think the difficulty of the one is that it kind of makes you think, oh, God's going to do this and send this person into my life. All I have to do is kind of just, wait around, sit around, and just expect God to kind of drop this perfect person into my life who I don't have to do anything to fight for, to woo, to do anything. It's I think there's this kind of naive mentality that I'm just gonna make God do everything, and then not take any responsibility for who you are as a person and how you can be the best person.
How you can become the one for somebody else.
Become the one for somebody else. That's good.
And also, I think around the idea of the one, it's thrown around as some fairy tale. They're just going to come in and they're going to be absolutely perfect for you, and there's going to be no problems, nothing you have to work through, because it's just going to work out perfectly and you're going to vibe. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the idea of the one doesn't take into account the struggles and the hurdles that you face within a relationship, and how those things can ultimately grow you and make you stronger as a couple, but are really hard in the moment, or trauma that you help each other through. It doesn't really account for that. It's kind of the one and only. We're going to be happy every single day, we're having sex every single day, all that kind of stuff.
And another thing about the one is it doesn't take into account mistakes that people make, or kind of fundamental bad decisions that are made that can literally change the course of a relationship, like cheating, or having a really bad disagreement or being at odds with family members or things that you really can't get past. In the idea of the one, it's like, oh, well, that person, if they break up, then that couple no longer has their one or their soulmate. And then does that mean they never can be with anyone else again because that was their one and they missed it or that something went wrong?
Yeah.
It's too abstract, and I don't think it actually really translates into real life.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, is like you can have behavior traits, decisions, and certain like characteristics that really help in a relationship, like being able to listen well, being able to understand the other person.
Oh, the light just got really bright. Jesus!
Being able to like meet the other person's needs and being willing to compromise, things like that. You can get on with a lot of people, but it's like, does that mean that you will never find the one? Does that mean that there is a one that you will not be able to identify because you're able to kind of fit into different relationships? Who knows?
That whole concept of like, you could be in a relationship with a few different people, like one after the other, whatever, but is it possible for there to be the one within those relationships? Do you know what I mean? So like, one of them has really stuck in your heart and you are just completely head over heels, you would die for them, you would like, I don't know, you have this connection that's so sacred. Would they be your one, or do you think you could have that with multiple people?
I think it's possible. Like, we're humans and we have so much creative power within us to completely change our reality around us. Like, we can do, with our decisions, we can just do anything. We can meet so many different people. I think you can't limit yourself to the idea that there's one single person.
Until you get married.
Yeah. I'm getting around to that. You can't limit yourself to the idea when you're, thinking about this, more as a concept. I think, it's a very limiting concept, because then it's like, you don't give yourself the opportunity, or you open yourself up to certain things because you're feeling like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to miss the one or not.
Yeah.
But I think it's a different story when you've actually committed. So that's what we were saying earlier, is the decisions we make.
Yeah.
And when we say we commit, that is us saying, you are the one I've chosen, you are the one for me, and it doesn't mean that the relationship's going to be perfect, 'cause there's no such thing as a perfect relationship, but it's like, I am willing, and I put my power and emphasis onto making this the best thing in my life.
Yeah. So for us, this is the one, because we've chosen each other to be our one for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Death do us part.
Yeah.
And then we'll party. No joking.
I think when I was younger, I thought about the one a lot, and so I thought, like, it was this kind of, I need to find the one. I need to make myself ready so that when the one comes along, I'm not gonna miss it. But I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure that's actually reality now. For us, it's reality because we met each other at a young age, and we're blessed to have been married for over 7 years now. But
dang, baby.
But in that time, I definitely think we've grown and changed so much that we're not even the same people as we were when we met, like, 11 years ago.
And we're very, very blessed to have grown in a similar direction. But I think that is an intentional thing for us. So that is something that we've worked on in terms of like having a unified vision to grow in the same direction.
Keep up with each other, to slow down for each other, to kind of move and sway with each other as we grow in different ways. And I think, and at different paces. And I think that's because we'd made the commitment prior.
And it's been a lot of work, isn't it? Like, it's not just like super easy all the time. It's definitely a conscious decision, but there obviously is an element of the fact that we are best friends and we get on so well and like love each other to death. But there is, with every relationship, struggles. When you find the person that you want to be with for the rest of your life, you just have to make sure that you are willing to put in the work for that person to stay your person for the rest of your life. Yeah,
because the idea of the one means that it's very easy to walk out of a relationship when things get tough. So when someone says, oh, I really believe that I have the one, and then they get into a relationship and start dating someone because they think they're the one, and then suddenly they start to see, oh, actually, the more I get to know this person, I don't know if if they're the one anymore.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, well, actually,
it's like a get out clause.
Yeah, it's like a get
oh,
out.
They're not the one, so.
Exactly. And it's like, well, actually, they could have been the one if you had have been willing to commit and choose them and kind of, work through some of those things.
That's definitely not in every case, because there are situations, I do believe, where people just need to break up. It's so toxic, and like neither of them are happy at all, and it's just got to a point where it's not worth the trouble.
But that's the thing, and that comes back to like, not everyone is for everyone. You find your certain people, like friends as well, find your certain friends, and then there's probably a small pocket of people that you could be compatible with as a human being in a relationship, and then from that group of people there's an even smaller probably like portion of people who you probably could date, and then within that group there's an even smaller portion that you probably could marry and live a happy life with. And that's why I think that there's not the one, because I reckon people are compatible with more than one person.
Fair enough.
But that's what we think. We're just a random couple on the internet.
Some random geezers just chatting away in our lounge.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Is there the one? Do you believe in the one? Have you found your one, or are you looking for the one? Or maybe...
Are you the one for yourself because you don't want to be with anyone?
Have you found the one ring to rule them all?
Oh, I love you. Yes, he knows the way to my heart.
Beth's a massive Lord of the Rings geek, so...
Alright, I'll tell everyone. I am.
Anyway, let us know down in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Share it with a friend if you want to have an interesting discussion about this. Subscribe for more content on relationships and trying to conceive. See you next time.
Bye.